Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to our first PU Computer Science online classes. Now, in last class we know that we already completed, we discussed about some important function. The name of the function is the string function. Correct now? As we know, the meaning of the string function is a sequence of character. The meaning of sequence, that means it is a group of characters. Maybe one example we can take as hello. Many number of characters are there in a letter, or we can say that in a word hello. H-E-L-L-O. Correct no? Total how many length of the character? Total 5 length is there in this character. So this is the meaning of the string. Correct here? And maybe any type of the group of character, as we know that enclosed within double quote. Maybe single character going to enclosed within single quote, and the group of character that only call as the string enclosed within double quote here. And lastly we know that it's a very important note about the string. Such character or group of character is terminated by using the null character. Correct no? Is terminated by using the null character. So such one we can write as the \0. So such one is also called as the string terminator. Terminator means just we are going to stop the character while going to write the character, while going to input the character. So this one is called as the string terminator or the null character, that the symbol \0. Correct no? And we know that in our string many number of the functions are there here, or in simple words we can say C++ provide many functions to manipulate the strings here. And we know that to use any function in a program, then sure we need to use the header file. Header file is the string.h, and we know that the each character of a string contain 1 byte only. How many space providing to each character? That means maybe H-E-L-L-O. So H 1 byte, E 1 byte, L 1 byte, and again L 1 byte. So totally it contains 5 bytes, and also 0 going to add. So totally it contains the 6 bytes. Okay, here just only to complete the group of characters. Okay. Now we know that whatever I said, this is just only the important note about our string function. And after completing the string function, we already completed the strlen. As we know the meaning of the strlen is using to finding the length of the character. Correct no? Yake ನಾವು strlen ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಈಗ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು string group of character ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರ length ಎಷ್ಟು number of character ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. So such one we can find out by using the strlen function. As we know the syntax of the strlen function, variable is equal to strlen, opening of the parenthesis, string, closing of the parenthesis, semicolon. And in last class I used example, that is the computer. As we know that when you are going to count how many number of characters are there in our or in word computer, totally it returns 8. Correct no? Here the length of the computer, that is equal to 8 here. So this is about our strlen, and we already completed to find the length of the string with using library function and without using library function. Okay, now after completing, let's go for the second function of the string. The second function of the string is called as the Strcat. Okay, kya? Strcat, open close. So such one is called as the Strcat function here. So what about the Strcat function? So we can say that this function is used here to concatenate two strings. Okay, I am using not just only the TO, I am using here the spelling TWO. Clear this one here? To concatenate two strings. So what do you mean by concatenate two strings? So very simply we can say that the process of joining or combining two strings together is known as the concatenation. Artha aita concatenation spelling ಏನು CONCATENATION. So concatenation. So concatenation ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಯಾಟಿನ full form. Now concatenation. Okay kya? The cat full form is the concatenation. The meaning of concatenation means here the two strings we are going to combine it together here. The process of joining or combining two strings together is known as the concatenation. Clear this point here? Okay, now let's how to write the syntax. The syntax of the Strcat here. So the syntax of the Strcat we are going to write as the strcat, okay, and later opening of the bracket, and later next one is the string 1 comma string 2, string 1 comma string 2, closing of the bracket and semicolon. So this is the syntax of the Strcat. As we know that for each function some different kind of the syntax are there. So when you are going to use this Strcat function in any program, then we need to use the syntax. The syntax is the Strcat, open the of the bracket, string 1 comma string 2, close the bracket, semicolon. And let's by using the example we are going to discuss about our Strcat. So the first example, the char str1, okay, here. So the char str1 here, and just only that means we know that whatever the string variable name is that such one going to declare by using the data type. So I used the data type. The data type is the char, and this is called as the string name. Okay, the string name is the name of the string variable. And as we know that this size, so how we are going to initialize? That means we can say that, for example, if I going to use win, so what's the size? As we know, if no size, correct, no, we already know in our initializing a string. This is the second example of the initializing a string. So in this method, if string variable is initialized, correct, no, how we are going to make the initialization to the string variable? By using the equal sign. Initialization ಹೇಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? After the declaration, by using the equal sign, correct, no? But while going to use the initialization, we are not using the semicolon. So directly after the size we need to open the equal sign. So we can say that the string variable is initialized, correct, no, here, without specifying the number of the elements, without specifying the size of the string variable here. So we can say that how many size? What's the size of the string 1? The size of the string 1 is 1, 2, 3. So WIN. So totally 3. Correct in this case here? Okay. And later next one, the second example, as we know that here two strings name we need to take. So the second string name I need to declare as the str2. Okay. So char str2, and here also I am not going to use any size here. Directly I am using, by using the equal sign, I am going to make the initialization. So here I am using as the DOS8. Clear this point here? The DOS8. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ string 1 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಹೆಸರು ನಾವು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ? string 1 that is equal to win, string 2 that is equal to DOS8 here. Now such one going to make the combination, correct, no, such one going to combine it together, such meaning only called as the Strcat. So how it going to combine? As we know that before going to combine we need to use the syntax of the Strcat. So string 1, that is our string 1, this string 1 is the str1 that is equal to win, correct no kya, str1 and later next one is the str2, otherwise we can write as the string 1 and the string 2, or otherwise whatever they declared, we used the declaration name to a string variable, such one we can write, otherwise str1 comma str2 kya, and later next one we can say that the str1 becomes total, the str1 becomes the Windows 8, clear this point here, Windows 8. So yake now Strcat annu use ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, this Strcat is going to use just to make the combination of two strings, okay kya. So here we can say that the string 1 becomes the Windows 8, but there is no any changes in case of the str2, that is equal to string 2, the string 2 only DOS 8. So clear this point here, artha aita idralli. So maybe in case you are going to use the example key and second string name as the board here, that means it going to join it, the str1 becomes keyboard, but str2 remain the same, there is no any changes, that is equal to board only. So artha aita ellarige Strcat, about this Strcat. Okay, now after completing this Strcat, let's go for the complete one program of the concatenation. So let's the question of the program. So the program to concatenate two strings, clear this one, TWO, here two strings, as we know that the in our Strcat, just by using string 1 it's not possible to do the addition of two strings, here we need to use two string, maybe the string 1 and the string 2, so two strings without using the library function. So what's the meaning of this one, how we need to complete this program, that means in a question only they added, they provided as the, here we need to complete the program, we need to combine, we need to concatenate two strings but without using the library function, that means without using the library function means without using the syntax of the Strcat, artha aita, without using library function anta helidre, without using, that means ee syntax yavade ಒಂದು syntax ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, just to find out the Strcat, the combination of two strings here. So ಈ strings ಈ syntax without use ಮಾಡದೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So clear this one. Okay, now let's, as we know that maybe any simple or any type of program going to start by using header file. Header file is the hash include iostream.h here. So IO input and output, correct no kya. So hash include iostream.h, and also we need to use the second header file. The second header file is the conio.h here. So this header file using the function are the clr, scr, get ch, okay kya. So that means maybe we know that in program we need to use, we are going to use the function like clr as well as the get ch. So before that only, before using all those functions we need to use the header file conio.h here, and later next one, after that maybe you want to display any information one after the another, then sure the header file iomini.h going to use here, but it depend on you. If you want to display the information one by one, then only you can use, but if you don't want to use, maybe you want to use in our program, then no any problem. Clear this point here. ಯಾವಾಗ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಎಂಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಹೆಡರ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಮೆನಿ ತಕೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಗ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ while going to make the compilation, sure you will get some problem in the compilation. It's not possible to execute the program, to run the program, to get the result of the program. And later we know that this is the program. The program means such one, the program concatenate, that means cat, correct no, cat, concatenate here, combining two strings together. That means to use any string function we need to use the header file. Header file is the string.h. So how we need to use hash include string.h. Clear this one. Okay, now after completing all those ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ header file ಬೇಕು ನೀವು one by one complete ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿ, ಅದರ ನಂತರ void main, as we know that the program going to start, then opening of the flower bracket, it means it indicate the opening of the program, and after that later what are the variables we need to complete the program? So such variable declaration we need to do it after the flower bracket. And as we know that here the character I am going to use in our string 1, that means the name of the first female computer programmer, or we can say that the father of computer, any type of string you can input. So just only here I am going to input the first female computer programmer. As we know that Lady Ada Lovelace, correct? No, the first female computer programmer Lady Ada Lovelace. So here I am going to use string 1 name as the love and string 2 name as the lace. Clear this point here? So I am not going to use Lady Ada Lovelace, it is very lengthy, correct? No, in this case. So just very simply in short form I am using the string 1 ನಾನು ಏನು ತಗೊಳ್ತೇನೆ, string 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ love ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ತೇನೆ, string 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು lace ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, LACE. Okay kya? Okay, now later first of all such maybe the string 1, string 2, everything going to declare first of all by using the data type char. As we know that here whatever the string 1, string 2, we are going to use everything in character. So sure the data type char we need to use. So the char we need to use it here, and later next one F and later the size, correct? No, F later size. As we know the declaring a string variable, how to declare the string variable syntax ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೇವೆ, data type string underscore name, opening of the square bracket, size, closing of the square bracket, semicolon. ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು string variable ಅನ್ನು declare ಮಾಡುವ syntax, correct? No, so here as we know that data type is char, string variable name is the F and size is the 100. It not necessary you have to input 100 number of character, just for namesake we are going to use. Clear this one? But here actually for love we need 4 character, for lace also we need 4 character in this case here. So but also we need to use any number of this size, no effect in the program. And later next one as well as not just only the string 1, as well as we need to use the string 2. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ string 2 ಹೆಸರು ನಾನು ಏನು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, yes, okay, and this is called as the size of the string 2. So here 2 strings are there, but I used the comma in between, correct? No, I used the comma in between and statement terminated by using the semicolon. Clear this one? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ comment line ಏನು ಬರಿಬಹುದು, the comment line is the declaration of string 1, that is F, string 2, that is S, okay, with their size. Clear this point? Okay, now ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ 1 ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ 2 ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸಾಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದರೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ L1. why we using the L1? to finding the length of the string 1, okay, L2 to finding the length of the string L2 here, and here also I am using one more important variable, that is I. As we know that this program is going to complete without using the library function, correct? No, in last program alli kuda ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ strlen function with using library function, without using library function ನಾನು ಹೇಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ, just by using the variable I. how I used, that means the one expression I used there without using the library function of the strlen. The line is the for I is equal to 0 semicolon str of I is not equal to 0, okay, semicolon I plus plus, correct? No, without using the library function, just because or just based on this line I completed the program. So here also just to complete without using the library function I need to use the variable I. So artha aita? So idu mattu idu first and second line is called as the declaration of the variables, okay kya? And later next one, as we know that before going to start any program we need to use the function. The function is the CLR SCR. The full form we can write in a comment line as the to clear the screen. And to use this function, header file file conio.h here. Now the program we need to write, because we know that without inputting any string 1, without inputting any string 2, it's not possible to make the concatenation of both string. Correct? No, the concatenation, combining these strings here. So just only I am going to enter the string 1. Okay, I want to display one message on that time only. How the message going to display on the screen? On that time only I am going to input some character through the keyboard. Clear this point here? So now noduva hege adannu bariteve now. So first of all we know that cout. Okay, by using cout, we using cout because I wish to display some message here. So the operator cout, using the operator stream insertion operator. Clear this one? And later we know that maybe any message you want to display, such message need to write by using the double quotation. So nan yen message kottidene ee program alli enter the first string. Okay, very easy message is that, very easily you can understand this concept what we are going to do it. Clear this point here? One by one in each line. So enter the first string, and later we know that we open the double quotation. Sure, we need to close the double quotation and the semicolon. Clear this one? So this is the correct line of this coding, and we know that in our string variable, in our function, maybe to input single character, get function going to use. Maybe to display single character, put function going to use. Maybe to display string, that is called as group of character, the get line function going to use here. Or maybe to display the specified number of character, that only call as the printing the character or string character, then sure the function name is called as the write function going to use. Correct no here? So namge gottide, hagadre ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ group of character input ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ function use ಆಗಬೇಕು? The function is the get line. So ಅದು function ಹೇಗೆ ಬರಿತೇವೆ? ಆ syntax ಹೇಗೆ ಬರಿತೇವೆ? The syntax is the sin dot get line, opening of the bracket. As we know that the string one name is the f. So f I need to write comma, what's the size of the string one? The size that is equal to 100. Okay, closing of the bracket I open, so I am going to close the bracket and semicolon. So that means first ಮತ್ತೆ second line ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಆಗ ನಾನು ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇಂದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಲೆಟರ್ ಅಥವಾ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಂಪುಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಮೇ ಬಿ ಒನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಲವ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್? Such letter or such number of character I am going to input through the keyboard. Okay, now later next one is about second. Let's go for the, we need to move. Okay, just to complete the program. So later next one, this second point also I need to display, I need to write one message, and after showing the message, after displaying the message, I am going to enter the inputted value of the string 2. Okay, that means the value to the string 2 here, and string 2 we know that I am going to input through the keyboard, that is to string 2 as the lace in this case. Okay, so when it going to display the second message, enter the second string. Namge gottidella hege baribeku. I think no need to tell about how to write here. So listen properly. That means cout operator, opening of the double quotation, any message. Then if you want to use the colon, you can use it just to look your message attractive, and later closing of the double quotation, semicolon. And as we know that whatever the coding syntax we need to use just to take a group of character through the keyboard, such syntax we need to write. Okay, so sin dot get line, opening of the parenthesis, s comma, ಯಾಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ f ಇತ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ s ಬಂತು? ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ this is the data going to input into the string 1. So string 1 ಇನ ಹೆಸರು f, but here the data going to input ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ input ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? string 2 ಗೆ input ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So ಆ string 2 ಇನ ಹೆಸರು s. Okay, but no any changes in this size of the string 1 and string 2 here. The size that is equal to 100. So as it is, I used the size, close of the bracket and semicolon. So ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಈ ಎರಡು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ 1 ಇನ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ನೀವು ಇಂಪುಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ದಿ ಡಾಟಾ ಟು ದಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ 1, ಆಗ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ 2 ಇನ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅಗೇನ್ ನೀವು ಇಂಪುಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಡಾಟಾ ಟು ದಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ 2 here. And later next one, after that we need to write some other lines. Now let's, what's the use of such other lines, or what's the use of other lines here? So First of all, as we know that L1 is equal to, I already used the L, correct? No, in our declaration I already used L1, L2, I separated by using the comma. So this line going to tell about, that means finding the length of the string 1. ಈಗ ನನಗೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ ಅದು ನನಗೆ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ? ಆಸ್ ವಿ ನೋ ದಟ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ದಿ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್, your number of characters within the string, the function name going to use, the function name is the strlen. The length full form is the length of the character. So how we need to use L1 is equal to strlen of F. String 1 in ಹೆಸರು F, closing of the bracket and semicolon. That means we can say that after finding the strlen of F, the length of the string 1, now later was it going to assign such number of character into the variable L1. Clear this one? ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ, ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ಆ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, that means to the variable L1. Clear this point here? Okay. And later next one here, not just only the L1, here also I need to find out the length of the string 2. String 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ. So no any changes, just only strlen, as we know that the second string name as S here, and later after completing, after finding the length of the string 2, such one going to copy it to the variable L2. Clear this point here? Finding ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ಅದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ 1 ಇದು L1 ಗೆ ಸೇರ್ತದೆ, ಕಾಪಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, and later after finding the length of the string 2 here, later such data going to assign or copied to the variable L2. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ F ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ, L1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್? and later S ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. with that means we copied from string 2 to the L2 here. So this is meaning finding the length of the string 1, finding the length of the string 2 here. And as we know that here, without using the library function, that means here we are not going to use this syntax, the Strcat opening parenthesis string 1 comma string 2 closing parenthesis. Such one I am not going to use. I am using here without using the library function. So because of this reason, I already used the variable is the I. Clear this point here? And just by using the for statement, I am going to access the character one after the another. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ no any problem about our string 1. Okay, string 1 is the love and second string 2 is the lace here. That means here about the string 1 no any problem, just only the second string we need to add to the string 1. correct? No, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ as it is no any problem, but second string ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಆಡ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಮ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಡ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. so here later words we can say that this is the combination of the string 1 and the string 2. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು just by using the expression for stated I am going to access the value of the string 2. okay, the value of the string 2, that is the less. so how I am going to use? for opening of the bracket I is equal to 0 semicolon I less than L2. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ string 1 ಇನ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. okay, no need to access the value of the string 1 here, just we need to make the addition, that is from string 2 in the string 1 ಗೆ. okay, I am using here that means here TWO string 2 to string 1 I am going to make the addition. clear this one? so I is equal to 0 semicolon I less than L2. that means if any character is there, it going to access one after the another. correct? No, in starting step L is there going to access, later words I plus plus, next time it going to access A value, that means accessing the value, later I plus plus accessing the C value, then going to access the last value, but after that no any value, that means the condition becomes false. correct? No, the condition become false, on that time only going to stop till where it going to access the character, till the condition becoming satisfying. Clear this one? ಎಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಈ ನಂತರ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, that means it need to stop the accessing of the characters here. And after accessing all those characters, so clear note this line, why, what's the use of this line? Accessing the string to character one after the another. Clear this point here, one after the another. So first of all, I is equal to 0, first character L, I less than L2, 0 value is less than maybe the character 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the 0 value is less when you are going to compare with the 4 here. As 0 value is less when you are going to compare with the 4, going to access the character. Then I plus plus going to access the next character. Next time again I value 1 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Okay, later words it checking the condition, 1 value less than 4, as 1 value is less when you are going to compare with the 4, that means accessing the character. So like that one by one going to access the character here. Later words all those character going to add it in our variable I. Clear this one? It's there in our variable I here. And later next one, after that here we need to write one more line, the next line, that means the S of I. Okay, how I written here? S opening of the square bracket, I closing of the square bracket, semicolon. So S of I is equal to F opening of the square bracket L1 plus I closing of the square bracket. As we know that now all those character is the first string 1 name F, second string 2 name S. As we know, we already used one line here, that means going to access the value one after the another, string 2 value, and all those value is there in our I only. Now the S of I, that means totally it contains the value less. Clear this one? Totally it contains the value less here. Now such less going to copy to the string 1. That means we can write as the character of here string 2 copied to string 1. Okay, so this line shows that the comment line we can write as the ನಮ್ಮ string 2 ನ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ I ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಎಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ 2 ವಿನ ಹೆಸರು. ಸೊ ಆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ 2 ಇನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ಓಕೆ ನಾವು ಸಚ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಾಪಿಡ್ ಇಂಟು ದಿ string 1. Clear this one? So the character of string 2 is copied to the string 1, to the first string 1. Clear this one? Okay, and after copying this line shows or states that here, as we know that in our string the group of character, I already said that means this string means sequence of character and terminated by using the null character. Finally we need to add the null character. So we can say that the null character is automatically added to the end of the string. Clear this one? After combining the string 1 that is love and string 2 that is the less, that is equal to love less, lastly we need to use the null character that is called as the string terminator. Okay here, so F opening of the square bracket L1 plus L2 closing of the square bracket is equal to \0 and we need to write by using the single quote, okay, and semicolon here. So now we can say that later words after combining the string 1 and string 2 we need to add the null character at the end of the string. So this is the meaning of this one. Now the addition of string 1 and string 2 everything is completed. Now just I want to display the information. So now how to display the information? Cout, by using the cout the information we can display, correct? No, and opening of the double quotation concatenated string. As we know concatenated that means combining the string or combination of the string. So any type of message, but just only the meaning of concatenation, combining string 1 and string 2. Okay, yeah? So it's going to display the message and later we know that just only to display group of character write function going to use. As we know the syntax of the write function, cout dot write open opening of the parenthesis, string, any size of the string variable, correct no kya, but here two strings are going to join it together kya, so str, that means just only I used the str string variable name, comma size, closing of the bracket, semicolon. So like that only I need to join it two strings together by using the write function and going to display the information. So cout dot write, and later opening of the bracket f, that is we know that now f ಮತ್ತೆ s ಅಂತ string name ಇತ್ತು, f ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ string 1, s ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ string 2, ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವು already string 2 ನ letter character of string 2 ಅನ್ನು already ನಾವು string 1 ಗೆ copy ಮಾಡಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. So like that means all those data it's there in variable string 1 only. ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಾಟಾ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲವ್ ಲೇಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಆದರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ here? So this is about our, so f, all those data is there, we already combined by using some important lines, by using the correct line here coding. Okay, so f comma l1 plus l2, that is equal to size. Okay, l1 means length of the string 1. What about the length? That means the size of the number, size of the character, number of characters. So l1 plus l2, closing of the bracket, semicolon. So clear this point here? That means now I can display the information of the combination of the answer, okay, of this program, and finally we get ch open close semicolon, and finally we need to use the flower bracket. So clear this point here? How to complete this program? So this is the program about our Strcat function. Now after completing the Strcat with the program, that means to concatenate without using the library function, after completing this program, now let's some other information about our string functions. So strlen, this is the first function of the string, strcat, this is the second function. Now we are in the third function of the string. The name of the function is the strcmp. Okay, strcmp, strcmp open close. And what's the meaning of this strcmp here? So the meaning is, we can say that in this case comparison. Okay, and in this function or by using this function we are going to make the comparison, that is from string 1 to string 2, or maybe sometime the string 2 to string 1. So just only the comparison going to occur in our string 1 and string 2 by using the function called as the strcmp. Clear this one? So we can say this function is used to alphabetically compare a string from one string to another string. So one by one, by taking the string 1 letter, by taking the string 2 letter, we are going to make the comparison between the character here. So this is the meaning of this strcmp, and this function is case sensitive. So what about the case sensitive? As we know that our C++ program is also a case sensitive program. So maybe we can say that one example of program, the case sensitive program C++ anta ನಾವು ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. And in case of the case sensitive program, that is the C++ in this case, or maybe the in case sensitive program we can say about our, that means not case sensitive program, we can say that is the example of the HTML. Okay kya? So what the meaning of the case sensitive program? The meaning of case sensitive means it treats the uppercase letter and lowercase letter differently. Artha aita? Capital letter G is not equal to small letter G, or maybe the data, maybe if you are using in capital letter DATA, okay, the data if you are using in capital letter, so such capital letter data is not equal to small letter data. So this is the meaning of the case sensitive. Clear this point here? This is the meaning of the case sensitive in this case here. Now okay, now after completing the meaning of the case sensitive, now let's whatever I said in our explanation of this strcmp, now I am going to tell one by one here. So as we know that the syntax of the strcmp, so the syntax strcmp, opening of the bracket, string 1 comma string 2, closing of the bracket, semicolon. So this is the syntax of the strcmp, and we know the explanation, the meaning of this strcmp. Now I am using by using the example. Okay, here now the first example, strcmp and string 1 I am using small letter India, and for string 2 also I am using small letter India. When you are going to compare I, N, okay, D, I, A. Clear this point here? Whether any changes is there in any letter? No. That means we can say that if string 1 India, string 2 also India, if both are equal, it returns 0 value. Clear this point here? It returns 0. Clear this point in this case? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ? ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ, ಈ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ? Just to compare the letter, to compare the character one after the another. And important note, this program or this function is a case sensitive program. But ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ತಕೊಂಡ string 1 and string 2, there is no any changes in between string 1 and string 2. That means if no changes, if both are equal, then it returns. Return ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ RETURNS ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, returns value 0. Clear this one? Okay. Now let's the second example. Second example, Strcmp. We already know about this one. India, and later next one IN. As it is, no any changes, a small letter, but I am using next D in capital I and A. There is also no any changes, but here we can say that when you are going to compare I, when you are going to compare N, no any changes, but in case of the small letter D and in case of the capital letter D, whether small letter D, capital letter D, both are equal, both are same? No, because this program is a case sensitive program. As we know that ASCII value, the full form of the ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange, and this value states that the capital letter A to Z starts from our 65 to 90, correct? No, small letter A to Z starts from 97 to 122, 1 by 1. It is providing the value to every letter. Clear this point? Small letter A 97, small letter B 98, small letter C 99, small letter D 100. So 1 by 1. Okay, in sequential manner it is going to provide the value to the letters in this case here. So when you are going to know here, as we know that small letter D, that means A 97 ಆಗ್ತದೆ, B 98, C 99, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ D ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು? 100, correct? No? So 100, D value is 100, and later next one may be capital letter A, that is 65, capital letter B 66, capital letter C 67, capital letter D, that is equal to 68. So here just only the 100, okay, the 100 and the value 68 for capital letter D here. Now we can say that when string 1 is greater than string 2, string 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇದೆ? 100, correct? No, small letter D shows the number 100, capital letter D, that is equal to 68. So string 1 is greater than string 2, then it returns positive value 32. Then it returns the positive value. ಯಾವಾಗ ನೀವು 100 minus 68 ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ? The positive value, that is 32. Clear this point here? Okay, now this is about our some information here. Now let's will complete the next example of this Strcmp. So this Strcmp, okay, this Strcmp, and later next one is THEIR there, okay, THEIR, and later next one THERE here. So like that if you are going to use, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಎರಡದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಏನು ಯಾವ ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ? that, correct? No, here THEIR, THERE. So when you are going to compare, we know that the difference is I and R. Later was no any difference in any character when you are going to compare one by one. T small letter, illi kuda T small letter, illi H ide, illi kuda H. Difference ಇ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಇ, ಆದರೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ, ಐ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ದಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕೌಂಟ್, ದಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಆಸ್ ದಿ ಐ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಈಸ್ 105 and R value is 114. Okay, just you have to count the number one by one. It's yourself. Clear this one? Okay, now this value will get, the I value is 105, R value is 114. So when string 1 is less compared to string 2, then it return negative value. Clear this point here? So we can say that here. So this is about our Strcat, case sensitive. It treats uppercase letter and lowercase letter as different. Clear this one? Arthaita? So this is, we already used some of the example for Strcmp here. And after completing this Strcmp, let's go for the Strcmp. That means here we can say that the meaning is just only called as comparison only. Arthaita? Strcmp kuda comparison ige, Strcmp kuda comparison, but what's the difference to Strcmp and Strcmp? Here we can say that, we can say this first one is called as the case sensitive, but this one is not case sensitive. So what do you mean by a is not case sensitive? Meaning it treats the uppercase letter and lowercase letter as same. There is no any difference to our uppercase letter and lowercase letter. Maybe string 1 small letter India, maybe string 2 capital letter India. Always it gives 0 value only. The result is 0 only. So this is the meaning of the Strcmp and the Strcmp. So clear this point? No? And I think we already completed in our C++ introduction about all Strcmp example, and also this positive negative example and case of the 0 value example. If both string are equal, it returns 0. If string 1 is greater than string 2, it returns positive value. If string 1 is less, when you are going to compare with string 2, it returns the negative value. So clear this point now about the Strcmp. Let's in next class we are going to complete the next function, that is about our next function, in this case about our string functions. Thank you for watching this video.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.